Lots of people on the twin flame journey confuse union with attachment. True union feels expansive, peaceful, free and rooted in love, whilst attachment feels needy, clingy and fueled by a fear of loss. Union is about being in alignment with yourself and your divine counterpart, not holding on tightly in desperation. When you understand the difference, you stop chasing and start attracting. Union is different to other types of relationship because it's an inner relationship first. We're soulmates. People put a lot of energy into the outside, into how it looks, into building something, amping things up for appearances, when there's very little substance on the inside. Twin flame union for a long time doesn't look great on the outside, but it's an inner relationship that you build until the inner overflows into the outer. It's rooted in inner harmony first. So go in. Attachment is pretty common and it shows up frequently in twin flame dynamics, and it manifests from fear, wanting to control, which is about feeling unsafe, and chasing, which comes from fear of loss of love, loss of the person, loss of one's good, and the suffering of separation. True union feels expansive and free because there's no codependency there. There's no clawing, there's no clinging, there's no trying to get love from the other person, because each counterpart gets all the love they need directly from source within. Therefore, this love allows space rather than clinging. It feels like unconditional love and freedom in the heart and energy. Self-love is playing a huge role in true union versus attachment. A lack of self-love is always going to fuel neediness, because everybody needs love, but they try and get it from the wrong places. They go outside of themselves to try and get love. They try and get love from their person, and that's only going to push them away. When you understand that you can have all the love you need by tapping into the spiritual source within and filling yourself up inside to overflowing, then there'll be no need to try and get it elsewhere where love is not. And there will be no more chasing or grasping or needing. Self-acceptance dissolves attachment, because if you're desperate for your twin flame to accept you, they're not going to, unless you've given yourself the self-acceptance you need. And the fact that you need it from them is an indication that you need to give it to yourself pronto. You don't want to delay or block your union due to attachment. Fear-based grasping is very repellent in energy, and it distorts the natural rhythm of your connection, because it's not a codependent relationship. Even if you're used to soulmate relationships, which all tend to be to a greater or lesser extent, it's a symbiotic relationship. You and your twin flame are more than the sum of your parts, whereas basic relationships are less than the sum of their parts, because people have to compromise to be in them and give parts of themselves up, and it's never going to be the recipe for happiness. So take a moment to recognize if you are in a state of attachment. Do you feel bad when there's no contact? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel lack? Do you reach out to your person because you're trying to get validation rather than sharing unconditional love? If that's the case, you need to surrender more, because surrender shifts attachment into union, because letting go can only happen when you're in a state of safety and trust. So give yourself the energy of safety and trust so you can let go, because all is gained when everything is let go of, given up. And that in turn invites your person closer. There's a world of difference between longing and a healthy desire. Longing or wanting often comes from a place of lack. You're after something that you believe you don't already have. Whereas desire is of a much higher frequency. It comes from a place of wholeness and abundance, and you're choosing even more. This distinction shapes your connection massively, because you can honour your desire whilst knowing that your union does not depend on their physical presence or them doing what you want them to. And knowing this, you can feel close even in separation because they are you, and that's never going to change no matter what they are doing or where they are. And you can't be separate from yourself. And the more you realize this, the more you come into the realization of your inner union and how it's always been there, because that is how you were created. And coming into the realization of inner union is what brings about outer union. But inner union realization first. And you're not doing it to get something, you're doing it because it feels good in the moment. And all the great things that you attract as a result of that are just a bonus. You'll also notice how different attachment feels in your body compared to union. There'll be tightness, anxiety, lack, obsessive thoughts, sadness, feelings of loss, beliefs in separation. Whereas union feels like oneness, peace, expansion, trust, faith, unconditional love. You know what vibration you want to be in. You know the one that's gonna bring you all your good. The mirror exercise will help you shift from attachment to union because it'll enable you to give yourself all the love that you're needing, so you don't have to go outside of yourself looking for it or trying to get it from your person. Choosing love over fear will always retrain your energy, because then you'll be making all your decisions from love rather than fear. So there'll be good decisions. And every time a bad feeling comes up, every time a trigger comes up, every time an ego story of separation comes up, or unworthiness or abandonment or whatever, you'll be able to lean into that feeling with love until the bad feeling dissolves and that space fills with love, and you've effectively got into harmonious union in that spot in your consciousness. And you do that again and again and again until you're so full of love that your twin flame won't be able to help but be with you. This is what makes union sustainable when attachment's always going to feel unsafe. Union will bring lasting peace because union is peace. So get into a place of peace right now. Attachment will inevitably collapse if you don't heal it, because it's an illusion. God did not create attachment. Union is never about clinging, needing, or fearing loss. It's about freedom, expansion, and unconditional love that flows effortlessly, as well as passion and desire. The moment you shift from attachment to true union within, your connection transforms. If this message resonates, check out this video for more guidance on aligning with love, surrendering fear, and stepping into your union.